Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I'm joined by my sister Rakia and we're doing a little Thanksgiving get ready with me while we answer some questions. Honestly, I was looking back at the one that we filmed last summer, and I was horrified at the way that I did my makeup.
I was also equally horrified.
Okay, I have this palette from Lancome. Yeah, that's enough. Okay, cool. Who's your current fashion inspo?
I don't have fashion inspo.
Starting off strong. I feel like I take a lot of my inspiration in terms of fashion from my friends and just like creatives that I see on Instagram. But recently, someone that I've been obsessed with, like creatively, fashion-wise, everything, their vibe, is Pendasek. Like, she's actually so iconic.
She is really good.
If you guys don't know who she is, you guys need to go follow. I think I discovered her on Pinterest or TikTok.
Does she live in Senegal or did she just post? Like, does she visit a lot?
I'm pretty sure she lives in Senegal and she does like creative stuff. Like, I saw she had posted on her story she hosted some kind of fashion show in Senegal, which was so cool. But I really love her style. I also really love King Khadija.
Oh yeah, mashallah.
I'm obsessed with her.
I feel like maybe like Max Pinterest. I feel like lately I've been trying to tone down my fits. Leaning more into like basics and stuff. I don't know, I don't really go out a lot nowadays. I'm like locked into school a little too much.
Best advice for burnout?
You just have to find like balance within like everything that you're doing. And like honestly for me, that's just like having friends that are constantly reminding me, they're like, oh, we should do this and oh, we should do that.
Exactly, just finding a balance and like prioritizing the things that make you happy, like making sure to incorporate, if you like spending time outdoors or going on hikes or thrifting, just making sure you're making time in your life to do those things that bring you joy.
I also feel like doing your work in like different places for me is what works the best. Like, I'll go to a coffee shop, I'll do work outside, I'll go to a different library. I have time to go to a coffee shop, I'll like grab a cute drink and do work at a different library. Like, just kind of
Switching
like trying
things up.
to, yeah, literally just switching it up. Or like recently, I don't live in a dorm anymore, I live in an apartment, so I do a lot of my work in front of the TV, and that for me is really nice. I find that brings me joy.
No, I agree. I'm like a certified cafe hopper. I love trying out different cafes and studying different spots. And just honestly romanticizing, studying, and doing work is like, I feel like the best way to lock in and grind, especially during like midterms and finals, because it can get so depressing. What's your favorite matcha place?
As of right now, it's probably Memory Look, just because I feel like the matcha there, like you can really taste it.
That matcha is like ceremonial grade. It's in Koreatown.
Yeah. I personally haven't tried Community Goods yet, so I feel like I can't talk.
I tried Community Goods. I feel like Community Goods was just like basic matcha. Like, it was definitely better than regular matcha.
Everybody says it's the best.
Really?
Yeah, like,
I don't know. I feel like it was good matcha, don't get me wrong, but I feel like compared to like places like Memory Look or Sip and Savor in Fullerton where they have like Einspanner matcha, to me, I feel like my favorite matcha is Einspanner matcha. But I will say Community Goods was really good.
I was gonna say, I feel like you can get that like everywhere though.
What, the Einspanner matcha?
Yeah.
Maybe you're used to living in LA.
No, but I feel like even in OC, I feel like with OC, we haven't really explored enough. Well, I guess I can't speak for you, but I can say like for sure, I personally haven't explored.
I've definitely been exploring OC a lot more, and I feel like OC's changed a lot since I was here for high school. But I think being back during my gap year, I've been exploring a lot more, and I feel like all the good coffee shops in OC are in North OC, which is like a lot farther from where we live. How do you come up with the mashwara designs, and how does it feel to work with your sister?
Sisters.
Sisters, yeah. Our third sister, Hadima, helps us with mashwara too. It's the three of us running it together.
Honestly, I would say like most, if not actually low-key, all of our designs are rooted within like our culture and like what we grew up wearing or like what we grew up seeing our mom wear.
Yeah.
But it's like still really fun to like choose different colors, choose what goes together, and we just basically go off of vibes.
A lot of our inspiration comes from like photos we see, designs like straight off the streets of Mauritania themselves. Everything is really, as you said, rooted in the culture and everything. And we kind of just put a little bit of a spin on things. Like, we'll see a design we like, and then we'll do the colors that we think would do well or colors we would like to see. I feel like it's a very intuitive process. Also, there's like a little bit of a lack of control in the production process. Like,
they just won't do it exactly how you ask.
Exactly. Like, even if you tell them to do a certain design, like, it'll come out very differently. So I feel like there's a little bit of experimentation within the production process
but honestly,
as well.
like, I feel like we've learned to embrace that side of it and just...
Oh, yeah.
understand that that's like a part of our culture.
No, at first it was so stressful. Like, I remember with the first drop, like the whole process, she was in Mauritania doing everything and she was explaining everything to me, and I was so confused by what she meant by like, oh, if I go to the dyers and I ask for this, like they'll come out with a completely different color. I didn't understand
How that was possible.
how is that possible, you know? But I feel like that's just something that's so ingrained in Mauritanian culture that we've had to learn to work with and work around and just, as you said, embrace. How does it feel to work with your sisters?
Oh my god.
I actually really like it. Working with your sisters, if you have a good relationship or you're close with your sisters, is nice because if we're not afraid to tell each other how we feel, we're not afraid to yell at each other and be like,
I feel
listen.
like that's all sisters.
People have different relationships with their siblings. Like, some people are closer to their siblings than others, especially if there's like a larger age gap or more siblings in your family. But we're able to tell each other when we have issues with each other, and we have pretty good communication, which helps.
For sure.
I feel like the most important thing with working with family is just knowing that you guys have a good relationship with each other and being able to communicate really effectively.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be kind.
Another thing too, you have to be really respectful of each other. How do you keep your curly hair moisturized?
It just depends. When I have box braids, once a week I'll put like almond oil in it, and then I'll like
Is that the
rinse it
green
out.
one?
Yeah, and then I'll put like whatever like leave-in conditioner into my roots, yada yada yada. When I don't have box braids in, I do my hair once a week.
And this girl will spend hours in the bath doing her hair.
When I'm at home, at school I'm like respectful. My hair care routine is I'll oil my hair, I'll shower, wash everything out, and then I always go in and I take my like leave-in conditioner, like whatever like hair conditioner I'm putting in, and I'll put a bunch of oils. I think right now it's like jojoba and I think something else. And then I'll put that into my roots. I'll put like conditioner into the rest of my hair, brush everything out, and then I'll braid it. And then I just kind of leave it in braids. And like honestly, it does get a little bit dry, but I find that like when I'm taking out my hair, like my hands are getting oily. So in my head, like I'm trapping the oil into my braids. That's good enough for me, if that makes sense.
Honestly, she's really good with hair care. Me personally, not my forte. You do not want to hear my hair care tips. I actually need to get better at
I don't
that.
think she has hair care tips.
I think the most important thing for me is like I really like to use a lot of leave-in conditioners because I'm always paranoid that I'm not using enough conditioner when I wash my hair. You know how you're supposed to deep condition? When you're washing your hair, you're supposed to leave the conditioner in your hair for a while so it sets in. I don't do that. I just rinse it out and then immediately keep it pushing, which is probably not good.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's why I always deep condition
So interesting
after.
that you say that.
That's why I always use a leave-in conditioner after to make up for it. How do you make sure your hijab doesn't slip?
Get a hijab cap. If your hair is like straight, my friend has this like $30 hijab cap that has like, you know the clips that are in wigs? It like, kind of clips in the front, and like her hijab cap doesn't move. Me personally, I'm not really into using that because most of the time I have braids. But when I braid my hair myself, I'll braid it so that I have like one braid going this way, one braid going this way. And so then I just hook my hijab cap in front of the braids and it like stays. Whenever I have box braids, like it's just gonna slip. Like I feel like I don't have any sort of routine that works, you know?
No, that makes sense. I use a cotton undercap from Amazon. Culture Hijab has really good quality ones. It's like mesh in the back and then cotton in the front. So I feel like they make that so it's better for your hair. And then I like to use magnet pins. I don't know how to use straight pins or safety pins, but I know a lot of people will use that to keep their hijabs in place. But I feel like the most important thing is having an undercap. I just said lip combos and I want to see y'all argue about something. It's always so funny. No, because the thing about Rakia is
what should we argue about?
she's a mean girl.
I feel like we argue about everything, unfortunately.
We,
Including Mishwada.
yeah. I feel like the fights that we get into the most are probably about clothes,
Oh yeah.
which I feel like most people, that's the case with their sisters.
Yeah, that's fair. My whole thing is like I know that we're locked in for life. Like I'm never gonna get rid of her. So, and I don't really fight with anybody else. I don't fight with my friends.
You don't fight with your friends?
No,
Really?
no.
That's crazy.
I don't really fight with anyone else. Like it's just my family that I have.
Not
to fight
saying
with.
that I fight with my friends either. I just...
We definitely like disagree with things, but we don't fight. You know.
Really?
Yeah, I personally have boundaries and they have boundaries.
I think when I was younger, I used to fight a lot more with my friends, but as I've gotten older, I don't fight as much.
I feel like that's why I fight with you a lot.
What's your lip combo?
My everyday is any sort of like brown lip liner, probably one that matches like my lips, just because I feel like, especially with my top lip, I think the word is called like double lined lips. I don't think I exactly have double lined lips, but like my actual lip and then the coloring doesn't stop where my actual lip starts. Does that make sense? You see that?
Wait, what?
Like my lip goes up, but the coloring of the lip doesn't go all the way up.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And so it makes my lips look smaller than they actually are. And so my like everyday little lip combo is to like get some sort of brown liner and fill that in. And then I use...
Mind you, my mom bullies her
yeah, my mom doesn't like
endlessly
it.
for the way that she does her lip combo.
Because mom also has the same thing, but like she doesn't fill it in all the way. And then I just use this, the CoverGirl Yummy Gloss. And I think I use it in like the deepest shade, and it really does a job. Like I actually really love my everyday lip combo.
This is the best setting powder in my opinion. Are you married? You guys, mind you, I asked you guys for questions last week for a separate Q&A that I was filming just by myself. 3 people asked me if I was married. I wasn't gonna answer it, but after the 3rd person asked, I was like, okay, I don't know if this is like a misconception that people have about me, that I have some secret husband
I'm
hiding from the internet.
I'm also concerned, like I'm just wondering, how old do you think we are?
You know what? Someone responded to my story after I said that I was 23 and was like, wait, I thought you were way older. Which I'm like, is that the vibe that I give off based on my social media presence? Mind you, this is off of my Instagram, so if people, I guess, started following me a little bit later, maybe they don't know I'm like 23. I just turned 23 in September.
She's 23, I'm 20, and I don't think we're married.
Just and I don't think we're married. In our last Q&A, it was funny because I think someone asked us about like our thoughts on marrying young or something about marriage.
Yeah, we were beefing about that.
And we were beefing about it because I thought we were on the same page at the time when we filmed it. Because I was talking about how like my whole idea is that I would want to wait until after I finish school and everything. And I fully just spoke for her.
If you roll the clips back, she's like, oh yeah, I think we both agreed that like we need to finish our degrees. And I was like, which one?
And I was like, which one?
It's like really funny because like 2 nights ago we were talking about it with our mom, and my sister was saying how she was basically like, oh, like I said that when we finish law school, dental school, and Raqiya went and said no, when you're a junior in undergrad.
That's what I fully thought she had said.
And I was like, I don't remember saying that, right? But like roll the clips, right? So she pulls out the video, she plays a video. I never said anything like that.
I have a bad memory.
I never said
really
anything
bad
like
short-term
that.
memory. It's
and
actually
that was
so bad.
actually so insane.
No,
it was
that
so
was
insane.
federal.
I personally said that like I feel like people should finish undergrad at least before they do anything like that. And she fully jumped the gun and was like, "Oh, Raqiya said you should get married during undergrad." To each their own, but like.
No, I've definitely seen people get married in undergrad and they make it work. I think, you know, people have different like cultural expectations. I personally still have the same stance of like I would want to finish my education before I got married. And I mean, for me, like I want to go to law school, which takes like 3 years after undergrad, so it's not super long. Like it's not as long of a wait as people that want to go to med school or pursue a PhD or whatnot. I guess it's easy for me.
I think what I said, which I still stand by, is like I feel like any time after undergrad is like perfectly fine, because at that point you're like what, 22, and like yes, it's a little bit young, but like I feel like it's not that young, especially for Muslims.
I do think that people have different levels of maturity for sure. You can't determine someone's maturity level based on like how old they are. Like I think people are mature at different stages, and it really just depends on like the person and like where they're at in life.
It's also like some people were raised like differently. Like for us, our parents raised us to like only focus on school and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whereas like other people were raised to like really think about like marriage, like if they came from like a different culture.
And both of our parents like have always pushed us like to work really hard and to just be very independent before getting to that point in our lives. We talked about this the other day. Like you were telling me like one of your core values is literally independence. So I think for us, like that's something that we really think about a lot when it comes to that and like where we're at. And also I think too, like if you're someone who's like feeling pressure or just like struggling with this whole idea of like maybe other people in your life want you to get married but you don't want to, you can like feel emotionally ready or feel like mature and ready for marriage in certain aspects and just not be ready financially or in other areas of your life, and that's okay. Best advice on overthinking less. This is from Nyla. Do you even overthink? I feel like you never, like I really don't think you overthink.
I feel like sometimes it depends. I feel like I don't tend to overthink, but like I think part of the reason why I don't really overthink is because I think to an extent you can fix all your mistakes. Like I just had enrollment like 2 weeks ago, and then I realized I was like, I don't like these classes, I need to switch some of them. And I'm like, okay, like it's not that serious, I can just switch them out, you know?
I feel like it's harder when it comes to social situations. I'm assuming like she's talking about in terms of like friendships or relationships and things, like things you said or things you did.
Yeah, I also don't
like
overthink.
you don't get in your head about things.
No,
I feel like I do a
think,
lot,
I'll think about it a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, I'll think about it a little bit. I'll be like, why did I say that? Yada 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 yada. But like I feel like after a certain time, like it just leaves my head. If you
Really?
like, I just operate with the mindset that like me personally, I don't hold things against people or have issues with people unless I've like specifically told them.
Yeah.
And I know that not everybody operates that way, but like in my head I just view everybody.
There are definitely
operating
people
that
that
way.
hold grudges.
Yeah, but
I'm
like,
the same way where like I don't hold things against people. Like I feel like I'm a very forgiving person, very chill and forgiving person, but I will say that I do struggle with overthinking a lot. And so I think for me, what I have to remind myself is when I'm spiraling is like life is never that serious. People are literally not going to remember. Like people's memories are so short.
they are.
Even if you say something weird or you're awkward at a party or a function or something, people are literally not going to remember. I promise you. Life is so short and like moments are so fleeting that people are not going to remember something weird you said. Settle it once and for all. What's better, UCLA or UCB? Ooh, I think I put way too much settings here.
I can't like not rep my school.
I think both are equally good. I think it just depends on what you want out of a school. Like, do you
think-
want that LA vibe? That West Coast LA
I was
vibe?
gonna say, I think that they're very different vibes.
Exactly.
And then also like Berkeley is really good for engineering. I don't really know anything about LA and their engineering program. I just know that Berkeley is really well known for their engineering. And then I also just feel like at UCLA is like a pre-health girly. I just feel like there's a lot going on for us. Whereas like when I look at Berkeley, I don't think like pre-health, pre-med.
It's definitely not as big.
pre-dental.
It's definitely not
And
as
like
big.
I know that UCLA, like we put out the largest number of applications for like med school, for example. And so you know that you're gonna have like a community of pre-meds. For me personally, like I surround myself with like most of my friends, first of all, are pre-med, but most of them are like not toxic. I think there are toxic people at UCLA. There are toxic pre-meds, but like most of my friends aren't. And so it just doesn't feel like I'm competing with my friends, you know what I mean? It just feels like we're uplifting each other. I just feel like those are really good vibes.
I didn't go to UCLA, so I can't really speak too much on like the vibe there. But from visiting her and just like talking to people that went there, all my friends and stuff, I just feel like people have more of a chill vibe than Berkeley. Like I feel like Berkeley can be a little bit intense, but it also just depends on who you surround yourself with. Like there are people there that are chill. I really loved Berkeley. I really loved my experience. I love the school, and I've talked about it a lot, so I'm not gonna go on too much about that. But I do think that both schools offer very different vibes and experiences. And again, like there are certain programs that are like really really good at Berkeley, certain programs that are really good at UCLA. Like if you're more of a pre-health girly, UCLA would probably be the better option. But regardless,
But I feel like when you total everything up, UCLA comes on top.
okay, not too much on us because we were the original UC.
That's what makes it even more embarrassing. Like the fact that we overtook you.
But you guys are still a dupe. You guys are still a dupe.
Okay.
Also, my lip combo that I just did was the e.l.f. brown lip liner, the e.l.f. lip oil in the shade Jam Session. We did some finishing touches off cam. She changed her hijab because no, she was not gonna wear a jersey hijab on Thanksgiving. Hello? Okay, this is the last question. Who's your favorite cousin? And this was not asked by Horia, but I think it was one of Horia's cronies.
Ooh, let me see that. Oh, that's definitely one of her cronies.
Here's the thing, guys. We have so many cousins.
Actually, wait, I do have a favorite cousin.
Oh, I know who you're gonna say.
Who?
Chef.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sheku is my baby.
He's our little
Okay.
brother.
He's my first baby. His sister is my second baby. He's literally my brother.
If you're wondering who I'm talking about, he's the one that was in my blog recently. Such a cutie.
If he even senses that we're like on the other line of the phone, he'll be like, my sisters, my sisters.
Mind you, for like 6 years of his life, he fully thought we were his sisters, and we just lived in different houses.
He is my sister. He is my brother,
and we've been locked in since he was born.
Yeah,
Circa 2016.
All of my friends know him. All of them look forward to seeing him on my story. Like, that's my brother. He, of course, like, I can't not choose him.
He's our favorite. Who did it better?
No. Feel free. After you look at the thumbnail, because the thumbnails are... I fixed my makeup off camera, okay? So this is, like, the final product.
She did the lip combo, everything.
I changed it to the green.
No, the green looks good. Having said that, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next one.